Hi everybody again. Brit Engine in the Philippines. Just cut out the hole in the bulkhead for the door. 600 wide, 500 high. I want it so that it's not going to be too hard to crawl inside or to get things out. It's nearly 3 inches from the bracing piece, so that's going to make it about 5 inches from the actual deck, so it should give me enough room. I've just been thinking I may use my hole saw and put a few holes across the top, and then I've got some let me find it here, some nice fine mesh. I think it's big enough to stop ants. That's the trouble here. Ants. You don't really want to be connected to the shore or have a tree leaning over touching your boat, because the ants here are just, they get everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Even on the jetty down there's ants crawling down the jetty. If they can find a way they can get onto your boat, and if there's something like a bit of dead fish or something like that, you'll have swarms of them all over your boat. So I'm going to try and have it so that the boat isn't connected to the shore while I've got it moored. I'm going to put a big steel post into the bed of the river and fasten it to that. Obviously I'm going to have to do something from the bow and from the stern to keep it still, keep it steady. I might put some posts in with big tyres on, put some tyres on the top, one post at the bow to lock onto, or at the stern, and then 2 posts with tyres on one either side, so I can actually drive it into it, and then I don't want it connected to the shore in any way, because I know you just, within a day the boat will be absolutely swarming with ants, and then they'll get into places, then they'll start building nests and they start demolishing things and make a right mess. Bad enough with them in the house. I managed to poison them in the house with borax and sugar. It usually lasts for about a month to 6 weeks, then they start coming back. So I'm about due to do it again. They don't seem to bother too much on the front. It's around the back actually, on the veranda. We get a few ants all of a sudden, they'll start appearing, crawling up the walls in a convoy and onto the veranda. So I get a bit of 2-in-1 borax mixed with a bit of water to make it like honey and feed that to them. They take it back to the nest. Within say 3 or 4 days the ants have all gone. It's killed the queen back at the nest and killed all the others. Usually find a lot of them dead around when you've done it anyway. After a few hours there's quite a few dead ants about. But yeah, they're a bloody nuisance. Luckily we don't have any red ants in the house. There is a few nests of red ants. I've got one here somewhere. When I'm working on this side, that's my pile of rubbish there. I sort that out and bag it up every so often. We do a bit of a burn. So, oh, the rain started. Let me just go and put the cover on the front. The rain's just started. Let's see how this tripod thing works. How does this work? Come on. Right. I've got you on tripod a minute while I go and put the cover on the front. I'm about to keep the rain off. good enough. Just to shelter the bow. I was working for a company and they had loads of these super quick release, really large, I don't know what you call them, cable ties. There's like a lock on them you can sorry, I'm just putting the tripod back together again to a handle. Yeah, you can unlock them and lock them quite easy, and they're nice and big and thick, so I just put a bit of a cover over the front there. Of course the boat's pushed out of my shed at the moment, out of my shelter as I should call it, so the bow's sticking out from under the roof. Yeah, rain again, showers all day again I suppose. Luckily I cut this in here, I cut it on the stern of the boat, and just used the hole where the outboard is to cut out, made sure I wasn't going to nick into anything. It's my trusty old Bosch jigsaw. I was working for Trade Windows in Derby. Gosh, how long ago is that? Must be, I was in Wales for 10 years. Must be 15, 16, 17 year old, that Bosch jigsaw. And when I worked for the double glazing company, it got used quite a lot, and then I've used it a lot anyway. Luckily enough in the Philippines it's 220 volts, so it's not too bad, all my tools will work here. Just the plugs here are absolutely ridiculous. Safety wise, there's no earth on anything, and it's like a weird 2-pin plug that if you're not careful you just rip it out. Pull out the wall dead easy, and they're really cheap and nasty. You can buy good ones, and the extension lead that comes out here, I put a really good one on the end, a big rubber one, so that's not too bad. But the normal ones you buy, they're only about £1, but they're a bit cheap and nasty. Right, okay, so yeah, I was saying I'm going to put some holes with a hole saw, probably inch holes, and then get my glue gun and glue some of this this mesh on the back to keep the insects out, and that will also give them a bit of ventilation. I'm sure it'll need a bit of ventilation there, otherwise it'll get condensation, especially if I'm putting things in and out of it, like the fuel tank. I'll lock in there at night when we're not using the boat. The fuel tank can get locked in there, fishing rods will go in there, so things are going to be damp, so I need ventilation. So yeah, I'm going to put some holes around here across the top before I put it in, use my glue gun and stick some of this mesh on, cut it out with my tin snips, well scissors, good scissors will cut it, and then make it so that no insects can get inside. So yeah, right, I'm going to carry on now. I need to cut some probably thicker ply to go round the back of this, like a clapping strip, so the door will close against it, and I'm going to make it so that yeah, it does close, and it'll close quite tight against it. Also to keep any insects out. I don't think it'll need any rubber or anything around it. It's cut out with the jigsaw, so there's only a couple of mil clearance. It cut okay. Funny enough, the jigsaw was quite behaved itself. So yeah, I'm going to cut some plywood now to put around the back to strengthen it. Also, it needs a bit of a strength, it's a bit flexible. So yeah, so bye for now, and I'll probably update in a bit. Thank you.